birthday to my god baby Janaya Prentice over there in Old Road. I hope she has a splendid day today. I won't tell you how old she is, not at all. A woman never reveals her age. So Janaya, spend mommy's and daddy's money. She still has to be taken care of. So don't try to guess her age still. But have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. My dear, you are growing into quite a beautiful, intelligent, and smart young lady. So keep up the good work. Keep being diligent in all that you do, and keep being obedient to both of your parents and those around you. Whomever else is celebrating, happy birthday on behalf of us here at Island Sea and the WinFM family. Just to remind you, we're being simulcast on TVC channel 40. We're on Facebook as well as YouTube. And if you can catch us, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. Just to remind you of our local numbers, 466-0989. In the US, 1718-285-6984. In the UK, 0333440065. Biff, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Hortensia. I am blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. What about you?
I am trying to be plenty better than yesterday, my usual.
And you're doing an excellent job. Keep it up, my dear.
Thank you, thank you. Trying my best to. And as we begin today's program, prior to us starting, we were talking about the tragedy in Guyana. And now I told you they had 10. Now today I see 27 bodies recovered.
Wow.
And the ship, apparently, there were 179 persons on there. And we see they told us there were 116 passengers and 17 crew, which amounted to 133. That was never the case. The passengers were telling the truth about the boat being overloaded. And there could have been more than 179. As the man said, he swear there were over 200 persons on that boat. That's one of the passengers that said that. And of the 67 persons who were found alive, 35 were never on the ship's manifest.
Wow.
So you could only imagine what could have transpired. And I have an article here from CBC, and it says 27 bodies recovered, dozens feared dead after passenger ferry sink off the coast of Guyana. And it goes on to say boat captain in custody after testing positive for marijuana. And as you were saying,
Ouch.
these things impede our judgment, what we can do in
Reaction time.
exactly when we can do that quickly when we are unimpaired. We can't do that. We can't exercise proper judgment when we are impaired. So here goes the article. Guyana's government said on Monday that 27 bodies have been recovered from a ferry that capsized off the coast of the South American country over the weekend with 179 people on board. The vessel overturned late on Saturday. Authorities had suggested an inaccurate passenger manifest and suspected drug use by the crew may have contributed to the disaster. The MV Barima was traveling from the capital of Georgetown to the northwest village of Port Kaituma when it capsized. The government's national communication network said on Monday afternoon that 69 people had been rescued, so that's good to hear that it's going up, while another 83 remain missing. Search team assisted by the private energy sector vessels and divers expanded the search area to 1,040 square kilometers. The vessel's captain and at least one other crew member are currently in police custody after testing positive for marijuana, officials say. Guyana's Prime Minister Mark Phillips has launched an investigation into potential institutional failures, promising that anyone found guilty of negligence or misconduct will face legal action. Air traffic control received a distress call from the ferry around 11 p.m. on Saturday, triggering a search and rescue operation. Public Works Minister Juan Edgehill said early responses were hampered by the darkness and lack of vessels with scanners that could search for survivors, leaving rescuers reliant on eyesight and sound.
Not good.
Not at all. Companies in the oil and gas sector have since deployed vessels with scanners, and the government has activated divers to enter the ferry to search for bodies, Edgehill said. Edgehill initially insisted on Sunday afternoon that there were no signs of neglect on the part of the ferry operator, but on Sunday evening he said the captain and at least one other crew member had tested positive for marijuana. In addition, a number of people who were rescued were not listed on the ferry's manifest, indicating inaccuracies in the passenger list, which hampered rescue operation because authorities don't know how many people they're searching for. The boat underwent maintenance in 2024, and the minister said it was due for dry dock. the process of temporarily taking a ship out of the water to inspect and repair problems later this year. Leon Murray, a ferry passenger, told local news outlet Ignite News that about 4 hours after leaving Georgetown, someone shouted that the boat was sinking. After the boat capsized, Murray managed to swim to the surface where he used a life jacket to keep himself afloat. He drifted and shouted for help and found his son and 3 others holding onto a floating box. Murray said he and his son survived, but his wife, daughter, and 4 grandchildren haven't been found. 6 of them gone. Phillips, the Prime Minister, said in a statement that the vessel reported a cargo weight of 268 tons out of the capacity of 284 tons. He said the ferry was licensed to carry more than 300 passengers and was outfitted with 250 life jackets. If you're carrying 300, why you only have 250?
I always question that.
Oh, boy.
It seems to be maybe the standard in the industry. I don't know.
No, you have to carry life jackets.
I
for everybody.
believe
It's
so.
not standard.
As a matter of fact, if you're carrying, in my view, 300, you perhaps should carry 310 or 320 life jackets. Not fewer than your capacity.
Fewer. 50 fewer too. 6 inflatable life rafts and 2 rigid rafts. But by Sunday evening, Phillips told news conference, an investigation had been launched into wrongdoing involving members of the police force. I don't understand how the police force got into this, but who knows? Guyana is very Guyana. The Defense Force and the Maritime Administration Department. He said, unquote, "Let me be absolutely clear. Where negligence, misconduct, or criminal wrongdoing is established, those responsible will face the full force of the law." That's nonsense. I was a flight attendant for 12 years. We were allowed to carry, if we had a 48-seater, each seat had a life jacket, so that's for the full complement. We had 3 extras for adults, and we could only carry 5 babies. So we had 5 for the babies.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was protected. The crew in front had theirs in their location, and we had ours in our location. So I don't understand what lawlessness is this. If a boat can carry 250, how you have a boat can carry 300, how you have 250 life jackets. And as I said, the body count is going up. Yesterday when I kept following it whilst doing other things, I see they had 10, but now we see they have 27. So soon we're going to hear that they have the full complement of the 83. A woman was crying so much yesterday because she said she doesn't want her daughter's bodies to rot under there because we have fresh water. We don't have salt water. So the bodies won't be preserved. And as I mentioned, we have things that like to eat things in the water. So I really hope everybody gets their family members back. I hope somebody would have floated on land somewhere and just is waiting to be rescued. Yeah, but for now, this is how this stands.
Well, Hortensia, you are impacting me, because I'm getting into what you're getting into. Something pops up here. You Google it.
Mm-hmm.
According to our good friend Google, a boat must carry at least one Coast Guard approved wearable life jacket or personal floating device, PFD, for every person on board. In addition to these wearable life jackets, boats 16 feet or longer must also carry at least one throwable flotation device, such as a ring, a buoy, or throwable cushion. Those pretty rings you throw, and they're orange and white, I guess, for color, so they could be seen.
Yeah. So they said they had 2 of that, and they had 3 of the smaller life rafts. But the full complement of life jackets, I really don't know why.
Well, 1,001 questions come to mind, Hortensia. You mentioned the boat was, in 2024?
Yeah, that's the last time it was maintained. It was due to come out at the end of the year. And you know that trip from Georgetown to Essequibo takes 16 to 24 hours, right?
16 to 24,
So they were far from their destination.
It's a whole day, like you
It
travel
could
8
be,
o'clock
but
this morning, you're going to
16
reach 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Well, it's a trip that they have to take, as I said.
Yeah.
The bus might be a next fare, and with the bus you still have to catch a boat, but it will be a smaller boat to get to Georgetown. And the reason why people probably rely on that big boat, as I said, they have to buy their ration from town, because remember, nowhere close like SK, buy their ration from town and take it home. But the overloading, and as I said, they would have Some of them would have been vendors that took the cassava bread, the cas reap, and all these things to Georgetown to sell. And now they're heading back home with some of their goods and still rations that they would have bought, and
Not
more
knowing
people
you.
and more goods. As the man said, next to him, his grandchildren are seated on the floor because next to him is a box of Edo, a box with chicken, a box with beef, etc., etc. So the seats had cargo in them when seats shouldn't have cargo in them. These things should be properly packed. And as the lady said, one of the ladies said the water was rough. Once the wave hit the boat, I guess that was it for the boat.
Jocelyn, that sounds like, well, I don't know if that's going to be misconduct, but I don't want to use a word as strong as incompetence. But
But we see
the captain is under some
the captain goes down with his vessel.
challenge. And like you said yesterday, most times the skipper, she should be the last to leave the boat because he has to make sure that everyone is off and things like that. So that's another question, eh? When did he get off? But he has to leave and make sure that captain is always first on, last off, as well as the crew.
I wonder if they had an evacuation plan, though, Biff.
Excellent. And when last did they rehearse that evacuation plan? And we saw it here with the apple cider a couple of weeks ago. And strange enough, the week after, I saw something with the Makana on fire as well.
Smoking. Yeah.
So it is necessary to perform these drills ever so often. And the maintenance, a boat doing 16, 24-hour trip, how many times? 5 times a week, 4 times a week? I don't know.
I never checked.
Because chances are there are going to be other boats as well. How often they travel, whether it's one boat per day, that's a different kettle of fish. But with that wear and tear on that boat for so long,
87 years, you know?
it needs to be maintained much more often.
Years.
2 years, I wouldn't want to leave that
the boat needed to be thrown away, and the government, it's being operated under a private company because the government leased the boat. The government...
Sorry, operating under what?
A private company.
Private company.
But the government leased it to the private company. The government should be ashamed. As I said, all the governments, I'm not talking about this government, because if that boat is 87 years, that boat has been passed down from government to government to government to government. So all of them should have dashed with that boat, as we would say in Ghana, dash it away, and give the people a proper boat. Now that we getting a little oil money, spend it wisely. Lease them a proper boat. So now they have nothing to say, oh, the government gives, because you know a lot of things gonna happen now. Because they're gonna say, oh, the government leased them this boat, well knowing the boat. So listen, I love my country, but a lot of things gonna happen when it comes to this boat now.
So you're telling me, Carton, that the boat is around from before World War II, 1944?
Yeah, the boat has been around.
1944, 56 years to 2056, and now is...
the boat has been around since... The boat is 2 years older than... 2 years younger than the late Sir Garfield Sobers.
Oh, boy.
So the boat, let me make sure, because the boat has been around since, I want to think, 1939 or something like that.
Let's say it's been around for forever.
1939, yeah, the boat has been... That's how long...
Boy.
That boat should have been thrown away by now.
Where Matt's gone? You're like, 1944?
No, 39. That's what I tell you, because Mr. Sobers is 89. This boat is 87.
Wow.
It would have made 88 this year.
And then another question, should a boat that old be undergoing this kind of service?
Well, they thought it was.
Maybe after 40 years, because you're literally talking about people's lives. And in this example, not just a one-person family, 6 people, 7 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the pain of that through life, living with that. And some persons may very well, as we see in the movies, oh, it should have me instead. Yeah. And the trauma that lady had, the mother had to choose between her baby, her 2-year-old, and her 3-year-old. Which one of them to save?
Boy, baby ended up being saved because she held on to vinyl for the most of the night.
And Cartensia, we don't come across jokes, you know.
And she's a mother that's just 18, you know. So you could tell
18
she started making kids early, yeah.
When she had a 3-year-old, she's talking about making 15. That's another story, Cartensia.
Yeah. So she's
15
a young
years
lady.
and a mother?
Well,
a 3-year-old?
Every country has their thing, issues, right? Yeah. And what I'm going to say, and I am not going to bring those folks in the interior down. There are people that their socio-economic status is limited, and you know they don't have TVs and all these things,
No,
and
I could
they
understand.
don't have. I guess in their culture they're exposed early, so yeah.
And again, their social life might no TV, no
Not,
radio,
yeah.
maybe no
They're
internet in
getting
some
there
cases.
now, yeah, but
But we're
yeah,
talking about 83,000 miles.
it's a big country.
And I often wonder about that. What about the political part, the elections? Do the candidates go in there and campaign?
Yeah, it's
Do they vote? What
Who, the
percentage?
people?
The people in the interior.
yeah. Everybody votes in Guyana.
I had 6 months in Guyana, Hortensia, from...
Everybody votes in Guyana, babe. It's one country. And that part is the part that Venezuela wants, Essequibo.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where all the riches are.
Mm-hmm.
But I had 6 months in Guyana from when it was... Well, let's take a break, Hortensia, and when we come back, I'll talk about my 6 months.
All right.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
This September, the CPL finals come to the mecca of Caribbean cricket, Kensington Oval in Barbados. Feel the energy, experience the vibes, the food, the fun, and the sun. Come for the cricket, stay for everything else. The best place to be a cricket fan is in Barbados. Plan your trip today at visitbarbados.org/CPL.
It's time for phenomenal cricket. Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all at TDC Home and Building Depot. From lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos, all at TDC Home and Building Depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC Home and Building Depot.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
And we are back on Island T as we continue along. We will listen Biff's story just about 21 minutes after the of 8. Just to remind you, at 8:30, we'll bring you a rebroadcast of Weekly Dose. Our doc is unable to be with us today. We wish her nothing but the best. So stay tuned for that. So Biff, go ahead.
Yes, in August 1983, I had the privilege of spending 6 months in Guyana. I was in Georgetown at the Palm Court Hotel. We were, myself and two other gentlemen, one from St. Kitts, one from Nevis. We went down there to be trained as telephone technicians at Guy Telco up at Long Road, just below the Defense Force Band. And for the 6 months I was there, we always say, well, boy, we got to go visit places, Kaiju Falls and the interior and things like that. And would you believe the only place we visited since we were there is the first place that we went and the last place we would go?
Which
Timeri Airport.
Oh my gosh.
Of all the places.
Yeah, that's how you entered and that's how you had to leave.
We had bright ideas about going across to Essequibo and Demerara.
So y'all didn't cross the bridge to the West Bank? Oh boy, poor you.
That's a travesty.
Yeah.
6 months. Every week we just stay in the hotel, and there was a Arapaima across the road from us. And the Arapaima is your version of like KFC. I don't know if it still exists. What's the name?
I'm not
But they used to do some very good chicken we used to enjoy it.
Oh.
And it so happened that Independence Day here in St. Kitts and Nevis, 19 September 1883, was a public holiday in Guyana. Market Day, National Day, I don't know.
September.
So the 19th.
Oh, I'm not sure what holiday
And
that
so it was a
is.
public holiday. And the first time we actually saw the national flag, we were coming from session,
What?
walking down, and the police had a meet, and our police officers were there participating, Franks and Jerry Hazel. And we there looking, peeping through, and we're looking at all the flags, and we saw this beautiful, beautiful flag. We didn't know our flag, because we came down before independence. And we said, boy, that got to be the flag convention. Back then, y'all used to love an oldie, and when I go club, y'all gonna play one soca. At the end, the last song, Hot 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 by Arrow.
Okay.
Used to like a lot of the oldies and things
Still
like that.
is.
And but when I was back there, if I'd closed my eyes, I would have think I'm in St. Kitts because all the vehicles going boom, 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 the speed and the noise and the music and all kind of things.
Did not say they were lawless. Did not say they were lawless. I love my country. I speak of the good, but then I still speak of the
Beautiful.
bad. They drive like crazy people.
Beautiful,
Crazy
beautiful,
people.
Beautiful
Yeah.
country, eh? I
Yeah,
really
nice
enjoyed
country.
it.
Love my food.
And not to talk about the cousins, you had an
Oh,
opportunity to see some
Jesus,
very
Lord.
beautiful
If
cousins as well.
I'm sorry for you. Yes. I'm sorry for you and these cousins. Good luck. Good luck.
Oh,
to
yeah.
them.
And well, I'm a Catholic, and there was actually a Catholic church directly across the street from us. So I would have been going there fairly often.
Okay.
And the U.S. Embassy, I think there was the Park Hotel next to us, and the U.S. Embassy was just there. The first morning,
know.
about 2 o'clock, curtains here. We sleeping, you're in Guyana for the first time, and you hear all this lot of racket outside, lot of talking. So we're thinking, what's going on behind the place on fire? Something happened? So we just jump up and peep out, and so later in the day we asked, what happening with all this code? They said, that's the U.S. Embassy. They start lining up from 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Because, Ghana is big. Even the same thing to get to the passport office, you should see how early, especially the folks that come down from the quarantine in Berbice, they come down very early. So by the time you get there, you're thinking, wow, you get there for 7 and the line is already snaking around the corner. Yeah, because Ghana, as we said, 83,000 square miles, full of people. I don't know the actual population right now, but it has a lot of people, and business takes a while. So you have to be early. Yeah, you have to be early. So
But going back to the politics, Hortensia, you mentioned you have how many?
10 regions.
So a region is like a county, a parish, or something like that?
You could say that.
So 10 parliamentary districts, constituencies.
Plenty more.
Oh, plenty more? Okay. So then from the region one where the Amerindians are,
That's where the accident happened.
would the parliamentary rep be an Indian chief or somebody along like that? An
Well, somebody of
indigenous
that
person?
indigenous, heritage.
So if a non-indigenous person goes there and try to campaign, is that allowed? Will he be entertained? How is it
I
done?
am not sure. I don't know their rules. Remember, I left there as a kid. I don't really know their rules, but a chief represents them. Because they
Interesting.
have their Amerindian Heritage Month. Because remember, these indigenous people were the first set of people. Okay, Ghana have 6 races. So it's the Amerindians, it's the Portuguese, it's the blacks, it's the white, it's the Chinese, it's the indentured servants, the Indians. Yeah,
Multicultural.
yeah.
When I was down there, almost every week you had a holiday.
Don't listen to Biff, not true.
No,
It
they came so
depends.
fast and few. You had a Hindu holiday,
Pagwa.
Diwali, and
But Diwali is in
Some-
October.
but yeah,
Pagwa
some-
is in February.
what in February?
Pagwa. That's where you wet up each other and then you powder up yourself and you have a party and you make 7 curry and you have parasad and all these things.
Well, there was something when we were there. Something
But the
in
holiday is
February.
not too close. Not true.
It's like I could swear every week.
We
every
have
month.
plenty holidays
A Hindu
here.
holiday, a Chinese
Because when I
holiday.
talking to my friend back home, she'd be like, "Girl, you lucky. I had to work." We have lots of. They don't have lots of holidays, man. They have Indian Arrival Day. They have Pagwa Day. They have Holi. That's all Indian holidays. Then they have Diwali, which goes all the way down in October. I'm trying to remember what we have. Emancipation, which is in August, and then now they have Carnival, which is in May. Yeah. So that's it for that.
And of course, you produce some tremendous cricketers.
Yes, we sure
So
did.
Clive Lloyd and Rohan Kanai, Alvin Kalitcharan, and a few others.
Okay.
Clyde Butts,
See me
Roger
here?
Harper,
Don't know them.
Ramne Wisawan,
I know
Chandler Paul,
Chandler Paul, for
and his
sure.
son now,
Okay.
like father, like son.
Okay.
His son is
Let's
playing
see.
for West Indies. Not at the level of Chandler Paul.
That's why I said, let's see. He might surpass his dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hetty Hetmeyer.
Oh, yes.
But
What's the other guy? Jesus, I can't remember his name right now. He's Shepherd.
you remember Mario Shepherd, Waterford?
As well. Oh yes, how could I forget your team?
Yeah, you got quite a few guys, you know. I've been inside the Georgetown Cricket Club, where we went that day for the umpires convention. I told you in 2005, I believe it was, a massive place. I remember during my afternoon runs, I ran around border. I didn't get to go inside.
You didn't do a lot of things, man. You can't
yes,
go.
the 6
You
months went
cannot
fast,
go
yeah.
places and just not do things.
That is one of my
That's the
flaws.
whole point.
Some
You go
people
to these
go
places
and
to do
you're
things.
adventurous and you travel out and things
Exactly.
like that. If I had to live my life over again,
But you could go still. You have
that's one
time.
of the things I'll do.
You have time.
Yeah, man. And speaking about cricket and I'm shifting to football, the SL Hartsford St. Paul's United, they left the federation yesterday to go to Trinidad and Tobago to represent St. Kitts and Nevis in the CFU Shield. That is the CONCACAF Football Championship.
Okay.
And then that will allow them to compete in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We St. Kitts and Nevis, well, that's the club. They have a CONCACAF Club Championship. So this is like a preliminary stage to go there. And congratulations to them. And they're there not because Old Road won this last season. They're there because they won the season before. So next year, Godspear, Multraville Farms, Clean Rights United, Old Road Jets will be representing them. This is the third time I think St. Paul's been there. It was held here a few years ago, about 2 years ago as well. And we've had other teams going. Newtown went, Keon went, Village went. I think Newtown went twice, maybe 3 times. So our clubs have been exposed to those competitions, but that level of football is a little above us generally because we meet some stiff teams. There's a team, Helenite, out of St. Thomas, or St. Croix. They are representing the Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands there, and those are who St. Paul's will be playing.
Okay, well, they just have to learn to play and do right by themselves and get better. And sometimes you need stiff competition to do better because when you're too laid back, you just do what you want.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, Hortensia.
So I see we are on the half hour, so we have to take that break and come back with Weekly Dose. So we ask that you stay tuned.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
At this time, it's time for a Weekly Dose. So good morning and welcome back to Weekly Dose Live. Today we're diving into an issue that affects almost every household, and I know this to be true: alcohol. Socially, it's everywhere: parties, celebration, family gatherings. But what exactly happens to your body and brain when you drink? And why does alcohol make you say or do things you'd normally not do? So joining me once again is our trusted medical expert. See, she's already chuckling. Consultant General Surgeon Dr. Natalie Osborne. Good morning, Doc. Welcome back to the studio.
Good morning. Always a pleasure. It's an important topic because we know alcohol not only just affects your liver, it affects your hormones, your judgment, Hortensia,
Everything.
your relationships, and even your long-term health. I hope that Quint is listening with us too.
I don't think Quint indulge in those things. right?
No. He's a very serious gentleman.
I don't even know how a beer tastes.
Oh, that's good to hear.
That's
Good
what
to
I
hear.
like. So it's good to be back with you guys, and I think this topic is timely because you know what season we're entering in.
Party hard season, Carnivale. Don't get me, people, but it's the truth. So let's start with the basics, Doc. When someone takes a drink, what happens?
Okay. So that's a great question. What happens? The alcohol is rapidly absorbed into your system. So you swallow that alcohol, is absorbed into your stomach, right? Then it goes through your small intestines and it gets into your blood, all right? And it travels to all of your organs.
Wow.
So here's what happens. The liver has to work overtime to break down this alcohol. At least one drink takes about an hour for it to process throughout the body, okay? And then heavy drinking overwhelms the liver, and you know that leads to things like fatty liver, hepatitis, and eventually, if continued and a person abuses alcohol, we know of persons who have what we call liver failure as a result of cirrhosis. You've heard of that, where the liver, the tissues, the cells start dying and become scarred off, and so you have that rough, lumpy, bumpy liver, and the cells are not able to function as is. All right, so that's what ultimately happens. So then the alcohol can affect, of course, the heart. We don't think about the heart. The only thing we think about is the liver. But it increases your heart rate and increases your blood pressure. And so long-term use of alcohol, what can it lead to? Arrhythmia, like your heart is beating abnormal, and it can lead to heart failure. So we don't want that for our people. What about the stomach? We know that alcohol affects the stomach. We've heard of young persons and individuals binge drinking, and we have these drinking games and stuff. What happens? Then the lining of the stomach becomes irritated and damaged, like an alcohol-induced gastritis, is inflammation. These persons can start vomiting, of course, and sometimes they panic because they vomit up blood because of the irritation going on there to the stomach, okay? And it affects your blood sugar to persons, especially if they're diabetic. It can drop off your blood sugar significantly and lead to diabetic problems like diabetic comas, okay? So we have to be careful because alcohol does affect quite a lot.
Wow. So even moderate drinking has immediate effects.
So absolutely, we know that. Your inhibition, things like that. And we know that the more you drink, the more effect it has on your body. Because most of the times once persons start drinking, of course, they tend not to stop at just one.
Yeah, because it tastes good. Well,
I don't know if it tastes
according
that
to the
good.
drink. No, but it has to be something why they keep going, because if you start at one and you just keep going, as we see some
I heard
people
it's
do.
an acquired taste.
Okay.
Because most of the time it's not. I'll give you a quick little story, anecdote, I think. My great uncle, this is years ago when I was a child, he came to a funeral in Keon, and he came down to visit us in the alley. And he had a beer. And I think I remember saying, "Uncle, let me taste it." And that thing tasted terrible, and I guess it was warm as well. I spit that out. I said, "This is something that people actually drink, and this is not something that I have ever."
Yeah, beer is off.
Yes.
I was wondering that, but I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure.
You were wondering what?
If you drank.
No, I'm not no. I'm going to give you all a story about me. And this is my almost end of year story, so you have a little insight about me. Very early on, I was a person who learned from others. You know, sometimes you have to learn from others' mistakes, and I see things. I remember, and this is a little insight to who I am. And I saw my parents, none of them studied, they weren't educated. And they had quite a bit of children. Together we were 8 children, right? And I said, I didn't want that for myself. So I'll give you a quick story when I decided I would never touch alcohol. So it's a Christmas season. Do you remember those bottle of wines that we call cake wines? And I'm letting myself out now. My parents were not around, and I think they went out or whatever, and I was about 13 or so. And so I took up one of those. They had it in that little cabinet that everybody had with your chinawares and stuff, and I drank about half of the bottle, right? When I was done, I threw water in it. I remember
to make it back.
To make it back up. So it was that cake wine, and I'm so embarrassed now. And I remember feeling woozy and kind of dizzy, and I lay down on the sofa that was there. And I said, I don't like this feeling at all. And I said, I would never do that, because I was kind of an out-of-body experience. I'm so embarrassed now that I've said the story. And I decided I would never, ever again touch alcohol. And it has never been appealing to me. I just was wondering why everybody was interested in this, that wine. We used to call it the cake wine. That cheap bottle of wine that we had. I felt so out of sorts. I said, never me again.
I, as a young child, had an experience almost similar to yours.
Yeah.
But, I remember I got, those coconut cheese that, when a coconut tree has a lot of coconuts and they get the broom. I got some of those from my great aunt because, I think I was about maybe 7 or so years old. and she had gone out, and there were some big men there, and they were drinking Hammond.
I figured it was Hammond.
And they knew I was small, so they gave me a little in a stopper cola. And I remember thinking the same thing. This is what people enjoy, because it burnt my throat.
Yeah.
And even from that little, I was staggering by the time my great aunt came home.
Oh, so you
and she
get
gave
next to
me
the broom.
two-yard broom.
I remember those broomsticks. You would get hit with those things.
I remember thinking, not me ever again.
Yes, so that was my experience. So yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about the immediate effects. So alcohol and brain. So it messes with your memory, your judgment,
Of course.
all of those things. Okay. So most of the stories we hear about alcohol involve poor decision, fights. Oh my gosh, I see them constantly at the ferry terminal. Yes, you can get me because you all put them out there for me to see. Accidents, texting someone. Why shouldn't? Why?
Well, of course, we know that alcohol depresses the frontal lobe, and that is one very important area. That area is like the CEO of your brain. So it's responsible for judgment, decision-making, Cartensia, self-control, planning, problem solving. And so if the CEO is not functioning well, how is the organization going to be executed well and stuff? So decision making is important. And so this is why we have to, because then our judgment, and we think that nothing is wrong, and we take risks that we wouldn't normally make.
Right.
All right, so you want to think of that. It's very important. Decision making. You do something or you go somewhere where you normally wouldn't, and hence the end result. I saw this story, and I hate to bring up these things. Most women will love these crime shows. I remember this young lady, they were telling us a TV crime show I was looking at, and ultimately the young lady lost her life. What happened? She went out partying with her friends, and of course everybody thinks that you must drink to have a good time, and she was so intoxicated she came home staggering, and there was a security guard in her building, so you had to be buzzed in and whatever. He was working in the building, and when he saw that she was inebriated and she lacked judgment and she was staggering, he acted as if he was about to help her, took her to her room, he was watching her, things like that. Ultimately, he was the one who caused her demise, because she was inhibited, and he thought to take advantage of her, and one thing led to another while trying to sexually abuse her, and he wondered what he's going to do afterwards. And you know, some of these decisions are made in the spur of the moment. And I always said he is guilty, of course, because he should not have harmed that girl. But if she wasn't inebriated at that point, she would have been in a different position. So the choices that we make when we consume alcohol can alter our life significantly.
Oh boy. So why is it people drink and think I'm fine to drive when clearly they are not?
Because alcohol tricks you into thinking that you're okay. Your reaction time changes, your judgment, but you get so quote unquote relaxed, and you're high on this kind of new exuberance and stuff, and you think that you're invincible, but at that time you can be severely impaired.
Let's talk about inhibitions. Why does alcohol make people bolder, louder, or more emotional? And I see this all the time.
Yes, there's a center in the brain that's called the amygdala and the limbic system. It's found in the hippocampus. These are big words. Anyhow, these areas help to regulate emotions and our impulses. So what happens when we consume lots of alcohol? It lowers social inhibition. You know that, Cartensia. All of a sudden, the shy person is now talking and out there and laughing and smiling a little bit more than they normally would. It increases your confidence, or this give you this false sense of confidence. You're emboldened. So you're at a bar and you're with your girls and you're laughing and talking, and they dare you to go up and speak to this guy, and of course you feel that you can't do that. And your emotions become exaggerated. If you're laughing, you laugh even louder. If you're emotional, if you're crying, you cry even louder. And everything is exaggerated, and you start to overshare things about your life that you wouldn't normally do. And so it increases risky behavior. It impairs impulse control. That is why people start all these fights at bars.
Yeah.
For little things, you're drinking too much, somebody brushes past you, and you say they touch you too roughly, and it creates this atmosphere. And it removes this, what we call, filter between your thoughts and actions. Like you have no filter. These persons start talking out of turn. Like a person will say, why do I become so angry when I'm drinking? But when you're sober, you can control some of your emotions. But because of the alcohol, you become so inhibited, and some of your true, quote-unquote, nature, and unmask some of the qualities that a person may have.
Okay.
You have a caller.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Weekly Dose.
Good morning to everybody, and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name.
Good morning.
Now, yes, people have to be very careful about the use of alcohol, because not only does it result in health issues, but you also have to remember the accidents it causes on the roads and that sort of stuff. The people do things and end up getting arrested by it and all those sort of stuff. So, yes, people have to be very careful about the alcoholic intake, and people should know their limits and stay within the limits of the alcoholic consumption. Secondly, with a light-hearted moment, I have heard the doctor experience with her alcohol tale, with her alcohol account. Let me put it, account. I have heard Quint with his as well, but there's another person whose experience is missing, and I wonder if she would be able to share a little with us as well.
I hope Greg is looking to see. I'm shaking my head. No.
Well, Greg, do you have an experience? Do you have an experience yourself? Have you ever?
Many.
Okay.
Many.
That is surprising, knowing that you're a Christian.
Yeah, man. I am one of those who do not believe that drinking alcohol is a sin.
Oh, okay.
But rather the drunkenness is sinful. Okay. I do drink my alcoholic beverages. But I would like to ask the doctor an interesting question though. Just a little light-hearted question. You say you don't drink alcohol. What about like eating cake and so? Do you do that?
No, it's enough you eat fruit cake.
Yeah, but
the cake is not over the top.
I would eat that from time to time. You know, that's a cultural thing in the season too. You may have a slice of fruit cake. Yeah, but I'm not a...
rum cake.
Yes, yeah, but I don't like it when it's heavily laden with alcohol. You can smell it. You can smell it quite
Leave
well.
that cake over there.
Yeah.
Same as me. Yeah.
All right, Greg.
Okay,
I
Greg.
know that will make sense. So yeah, Quint, I do drink alcoholic beverages.
All right, thank you.
Man.
Okay, all right. All the best to you. Thanks for listening always.
All right, so we will continue.
We have another caller.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Weekly Dose.
Good day.
Good day.
I was just wondering, we've seen articles on the benefits of things like having a glass of red wine, you know. So I'm wondering, when is it okay to imbibe alcohol? Is one beer on a Friday afternoon okay, but 2 or 3 isn't? Right? And what exactly does excessive alcohol drinking do? I mean, we've heard so many instances where it leads to liver damage. Is that the usual case, or there are other things involved that alcohol does to the body that the body cannot take? And lastly, as an aside, doctor, what do you have against eating chicken? Not recall, but
and that's it.
Recall, but
Okay, let's.
yes, that's it.
All right, caller. Thank you.
All right. We were talking about what. If I don't know if the listener just got on. we were talking about what some of the things that excessive alcohol does. We spoke about its effects on the brain. We spoke about decreasing inhibitions, all the things that can happen, and your judgment changing. Persons can get into fights. Persons can get involved in things that you normally wouldn't do, and the domestic violences and all these events occur usually associated with alcohol. We talk about its damage on its liver, of course, that is well documented, the liver cirrhosis. Persons have a terrible death under those conditions of having a failed liver. And that can be the end stage of persons who consume quite a lot of alcohol over a long period of time. We spoke about the effects on organs like the heart, leading to the brain. You can increase your risk of having strokes as well too. It increases your risk of having heart abnormalities in terms of how the heart muscle functions, leading to heart failure. We talk about the damages that it causes to organs like your stomach. Persons, it is increasingly important, and it creates a lot of risk factors associated with different cancers. We talk about cancer of the throat, cancers of the mouth. We talk about cancers. Liver cancer is a risk factor, pancreatic cancer. So alcohol has a lot of effects as well too. All right?
All right. So what are some of the dangers people may not think about?
We know that accidents, 60% of accidents that are fatal, crashes and stuff, involve some level of alcohol. I think one of the previous caller mentioned that. Falls and injuries. We know that how it affects the brain and your balance. Persons, you fall down more. We see patients all the time come to emergency room. They've fallen down after they've consumed quite a bit of alcohol. They have a laceration, cuts open their head. We have to do CT scan to make sure that they don't have a brain bleed, things like that. They get into fights. Some of the worst traumatic injuries, persons start chopping on each other with machetes and knives and stuff. It involves some sort of alcohol uses. So we know that violence and domestic disputes increase when alcohol is involved. There's heightened emotions and lowered control. Unsafe sex decisions. Most we know about, Quint, you should know this, in St. Kitts, most of the babies we talk about born in September, you know that story because of the carnival period. Yes, so you know, unsafe sexual decision, that can lead to pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, and sexually transmitted infections, because normally if you're sound of mind, you wouldn't get involved with some of these things. Persons are coming with what we call this blackout, because they've consumed so much alcohol, so they do not remember what happened the day before, the night before. Hence, that increases our young woman's risk of being assaulted. We spoke about the case that I saw, the crime story, that the young lady lost her life as a result of having associated alcohol on board. So now you're out and you're drinking, and then you're abused sexually, and the next day you're unaware of what happened. You can't give a clear story to the authorities, and you're unsure. So we have to be very careful. And of course, we can have alcohol poisoning because of the binge drinking, and of course, we know all of the problems that come with that.
Okay, so things can go wrong very quickly.
We know they can go extremely wrong. Okay, one night of drinking heavily, Quint, can change a person's life forever. You can lose your life, you can kill someone in a motor vehicle accident, and of course, you can become pregnant, things like that, or have become HIV positive because you made such a decision that you would not have normally done without the excess alcohol on board.
Okay, we know that what does long-term heavy drinking lead to?
Chronic liver disease, we've mentioned that. Pancreatitis, we know that structure, that organ that we have there deep in our tummy, that's called the pancreas. It's responsible for releasing a lot of these hormones. One of the most common one is insulin to regulate our blood sugar. You can have destruction to the pancreas and the pancreatic cells, leading to chronic pancreatitis, things like diabetes, leading to failure of the pancreas. And we all need our pancreas, of course. Chronic pancreatic pain, high blood pressure. We don't want that. Strokes, we don't want that. Our immune system is weakened because if we abuse alcohol over time, of course, we know that. We spoke about our mental health issues. It worsens anxiety and your depression. Sexual dysfunction. Of course, you think that it gives you confidence, so you go over and talk to the girl. But then when you get going, or you need to get going, you're having difficulty having an erection because of the alcohol consumption. Relationships break down because of alcohol, domestic abuse, we know that. Financial stress. You start making poor decisions. You go to the what you call that casino, and you start making rash decisions, and you bet more than you can, and then you have these problems. And so it is not just a social drink. In excess, it's a toxin to the body. So we want to make sure we remember that. And the cancers that more and more we're realizing has association with alcohol. Breast cancer, you wouldn't think about that. And we know we have an increase of breast cancer, colon cancer as well too.
Alcohol. Wow.
Stomach cancer, esophageal cancer. It's almost always, that food pipe. Once you have that, is almost always associated with persons who have consumed large amount of alcohol.
Wow. Well, we just had a caller that asks, but people always ask, how much is safe?
Yes, I know the caller was talking, and I purposefully left that out because I know we were going to get to this. So how much is really safe? The guideline can vary, but in general, they recommend for a woman no more than one drink per day, and men no more than 2 drinks per day. They speak about some benefits of like having a glass of red wine. But there's something in the wine that come from the grape that I think we call resveratrol. You could just have your grapes. I love grapes. Have your grapes too. So ultimately, they speak about the benefits. That's why I said there are different studies out there, and some may contradict each other. But if you have a healthy lifestyle with your exercise, eating well, a balanced diet, you really don't need a glass of wine. But remember too, ultimately, some of these are big market. Not some of these, all of these, what we call spirits and wines and alcohol. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. And of course, studies can speak and push you in a favorable manner, a favorable light. And man, a conversation with a patient yesterday, and I'm going to get into trouble, but this is the end of the year. Let me speak it. He worked at the brewery for years. And we had a good conversation, and I challenged him. I said, the brewery, of course, make millions of dollars selling these spirits, selling these drinks, social events and stuff. And I said, I never really hear them supporting the healthcare system, giving donations. And because of these consumptions, we have so many persons coming into the healthcare system with end results of alcohol abuse. But it seems so separated at the end of the day when we have this end problem, but we celebrate so much of these events and these companies and these, and the healthcare system, I don't know of our healthcare system getting support when we need it financially, because the end result of having to care for these persons who would have consumed and abused these alcoholic beverages. I put that out there, somebody would not like that comment.
Yeah, but it's the truth, because and it's funny that things that are not good for us we abuse, like the smoking, the drinking, etc., etc. And then we want to be saved once we end up in the problems, right?
And so that's where the healthcare comes in on the back end. But there seem to be no connection, no direct link, because then that part is long gone or quite removed from now the end care, and we're running back and forth trying to get the person health back up and giving them the necessary support.
Oh boy. Yeah,
so we have to challenge each other.
Yeah, certainly we have to. But let's look at drinking safely. Are there any tips for that?
Yes, because persons want to say that we're haters. We're not really hating. Quid no I no contentia. We're just giving you the facts. And it's important. If you're going to have alcoholic beverages, of course, there's certain tips, because especially we come into this Christmas season and people say they want to let loose and relax. Eat before drinking. Try not to eat on an empty stomach, because you want to ensure that the alcohol that you consume, the food is like a buffer, and it doesn't get into your bloodstream so quickly and so creates those symptoms. alternate with water. So if you have a glass of wine, then you have a glass of water, or you have a whiskey or whatever, then you have a glass of water. So try to make sure, and set a limit before you go out. I'm only going to buy 2 drinks. That's my limit for tonight. And you could even just carry that money that is responsible for that. So each drink, I don't know, Quint, it costs $15. You have $30, and that's your drink money. So that kind of limits you as well too. And do not have these drinking games. Oh, truth or dare, drink a shot if you don't want to. Those things are not necessary at all. All right, and know your triggers. So if you know that you're going into a situation where persons are going to be, I don't know, this dance in the middle of the night, late night, and persons, you want to limit the amount of alcohol, because you're going to put yourself into vulnerable situations, and you don't want to be isolated in a place and your inhibitions are limited. You can get hurt or even worse. So we want to make sure, and do not mix your alcohol with energy drinks and sedatives. We love to persons, and we're seeing that more and more, and it's being promoted on TV and in shows, that you drop something and you get this high, or you smoke something and you consume alcohol. That's going to worsen, and it has no benefit at all. All right? And never drink and drive. Never, never, never. If you're planning in advance to go out with your friends, of course you want that person who's going to be the designated driver. And so take me with you. So I'm not going to drink, so I'll make sure I'll get you home safely. So you need a cartency in the group as well too. She's not going to drink, so that person is a designated driver. Because you think that you're fine, but then you are not. Your reaction time is limited, of course. And you take risks, you press on the pedal because you think it's fun and everybody's laughing, and then you get into a massive accident that can lead to loss of lives, and we do not want that.
Exactly. So, oh my gosh, the topic, we are already at the end of it, but since Greg wanted a story, there's this famous drink, I don't even want to call the name, but someone gave it to me. They know I like coffee, but I did not. And it says non-alcoholic on it, but it had in the other stuff that I didn't see the insignia on the side of the bottle. Listen, I was mashed up. Thank God I had a group of girlfriends. I was talking to them. But when I was looking at the phone, Doc, and Quint, at one time the words are big, next time the words are small. And then I'm on the bed and I feel like the bed's taking me in like suction. And this is like maybe 3 years ago. And then I'm up again. And then one time I'm seeing orange and next time I'm seeing clear. That was the worst.
So you were out when that happened?
No, home.
So somebody
I consumed it at home.
Yeah,
So I had it in the fridge. I said, let me drink some. And then they say, oh, you have to consume the rest. I said, since it's coffee, I'm going to consume the entire
bottle. But it had
bottle.
alcohol in it?
No, non-alcohol. The high grade weed. So that thing messed me up. I didn't see the insignia on the corner. It's a famous drink around these parts, but I won't call any name. But yeah, that messed me up. I threw up. Immensely, I was telling my husband. He said when he came in the door, he saw me like I was going to fall. I didn't know all of that. I had my head on an ice pack. I did all kind of things that day. I was spraying air freshener, like to stay conscious and all of that, but it didn't work. So I had and
the thing about it, this is so important that you know what you're drinking. We also want to emphasize when you go out, don't put down your drink anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you keep your drink with you all times. If you, as a women, especially if you go to the restroom and your drink is left there, when you come back, you need to order a fresh drink.
Exactly.
Let no one order your drink that you didn't see the bartender pour directly, and ensure that you know what your drink is, and have trusted people around. Because if you have trusted person around, in case you become intoxicated, you know that you have one or two friends who can take you home safely. But do not do this in new groups, in the persons that you're just meeting, because you do not know the character of these individuals.
No, I was home with my experience, so thank God for that. But
so we have to be very, very, very careful in our decision making, because ultimately when we lose that sense of self and that decision making, so your reaction time, your judgment, all of these things that are affected by the consumption of alcohol, it leads to death, it leads to being sexually violated, sexually transmitted unwanted infection, unwanted pregnancy, and a whole source of other complications. So we are emphasizing this in this period of the year because we know everybody's going to be out celebrating.
It's that time.
We want people to make wise decisions. That is always our goal, to educate, because we don't want persons coming up. I remember some years ago, you're probably too young to remember, Cortesia. This is years ago. Dr. Wilkinson, when he was a medical chief of staff, he called downtown and told them to end the carnival day. And they did. Why? Because persons were consuming so much alcohol. We had lots of stab wounds coming to the emergency rooms, persons hitting each other with bottles and creating just chaos. If you know you're there to have healthy, good fun, you have to expect that somebody's going to touch on you, somebody's you're going to have these little things. But once you consume so much alcohol, your judgment then and everything is heightened that we speak about. And I remember he called there and said, listen, let's wrap up this dance, whatever it was that morning, because we were having so many persons coming to the hospital with injuries. So we do not want that for people. We want them to have a healthy and good carnival season and to be safe.
Yes, indeed. So thank you, Doc. It's always a pleasure having you in and you educating us on the variant topics. So
the gentleman asked about chicken eating. I think that was that.
Oh yeah, I have that. What do you have against eating chicken?
Me personally don't, because I chose to live a lifestyle that's more accordance with a vegetarian lifestyle. I eat fish. They're healthy. Chicken, of course, the healthiest chicken we know is the chicken breast. You want to eat that. You want to make sure you prepare it without a lot of oil and stuff, but you can't eat that because we know we need protein, especially once we get above the age of 35. We lose at least 1% of our muscle mass as we get older, so we need lots of protein. If chicken is what you like, prepare it well, make sure that it's cooked properly so it's not infected with any salmonella, it's not left out. These are things we encourage, but I don't discourage anyone from eating chicken if they choose to, because it is a source of protein and not everybody can access things like fish. So I wanted to make sure I did not ignore that individual's question.
Okay, so caller, enjoy your chicken.
Yes.
Thanks, Doc.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's Day Rave Round Robin, running from June 13th to September 26th. Saturday, June 13th, we kick it off at Starlink HQ opposite Carib Brewery. Sunday, June 21st, Progressive Bar next to the Sandy Point Market. Saturday, July 4th, we at Chef Sam on 4th Street. Friday, July 10th, Diddy's Bar at Stewart Car Wash opposite School Meals. Saturday, July 18th, it's at Cool Runnings Bar and Grill, Old Factory Road. Saturday, July 25th, check out Short Boss at the Ferry Terminal. Saturday, August 1st, back at Starling HQ opposite Carib Brewery. Saturday, August 15th, Liquid Lounge Bar and Restaurant opposite the Sandy Point Hospital. Saturday, August 22nd, we're back at Cool Runnings Bar, Old Factory Road. Saturday, August 29th, it's Diddy's Bar at Stewart Car Wash opposite School Meal. Saturday, September 5th, Fun Times Bar on 4th Street. Saturday, 12th September, link up at Short Boss at Stewart Car Wash opposite School Meals. Saturday, September 19th, Independence Day, Cool Runnings Bar and Grill, Old Factory Road. And we close down on Saturday, September 26th at Chef Sam Bar on 4th Street. Day Rave Round Robin, June 13th to September 26th. Different DJs, different vibes, one experience. Daylight, music, energy. That's the Day Rave way.
Hey, here's your Hostels Value Man IGA Blue Tag Specials running July 9 to July 22nd. Morning Star meatless entrees $19.99. Essential everyday fries $15.99. Minute Maid juices $9.99. Essential everyday salsa $10.99. And Sueno liquid fabric softener $18.49. Essential everyday dry dog food $84.99. And now our value deals. IGA Essential everyday mac and cheese $2.99. $2.99. Essential everyday canned tuna, water and oil, $3.49. General Mills cereals, $17.99. M toothpaste, $4.99. Rice-A-Roni, $9.99. 9 Lives canned cat food, $17.99. Shop smart, shop value mart.
Make today a payday with the Caribbean Lottery. Play $2 and get paid up to $2,000 every month for 5 years. That's 5 years of extra support for daily expenses. Take care of the people you love and get life moving in the right direction. Playing is easy. Pick 4 numbers and the cash ball to secure 5 years of guaranteed income. Build your financial future with Payday, the win that keeps on paying. Play now at the Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide and secure your payday. Must be 21 years or older to play. Please play responsibly.
And we're back on Island Tea. It is just about 8 minutes after the hour of 9. And as I said before we played the rebroadcast of Weekly Dose, that it was indeed a rebroadcast. And if you listen to it carefully, it was a rebroadcast from last December, actually, where we were speaking about the effects of alcohol. And the rebroadcast is so timely because, as I mentioned earlier when we started the program, the crew and the captain was under the influence. So it shows how alcohol and other, how should I say, narcotics, good or bad, can influence how you operate. It slows your reaction time. It impedes your judgment, etc., etc. So it's just a lot, and I'm just heavy when it comes to that situation that happened in Ghana, so I'll try my best to not dwell on it too much. But on the regional side as well, I see a proposed U.S. bill. It says would bar entry for nationals of Antigua and Barbuda. Republican lawmakers' legislation includes Antigua and Barbuda among nearly 50 countries targeted on the proposed immigration moratorium. And it says a proposed U.S. immigration bill introduced by a Republican lawmaker would bar the entry of nationals from nearly 40 countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, if it becomes law. The Third World Immigration Moratorium Act, introduced by Congresswoman Nancy Mace, would prohibit most nationals of countries listed in the bill from entering the United States. Antigua and Barbuda is named alongside 3 other Caribbean nations, Dominica, Haiti, and Cuba, in the proposed legislation. Supporters say the measures is intended to strengthen national security and tighten immigration controls, where critics argue it is overly broad and unfairly target entire countries. The proposal is not law. It has been introduced in the House of Representatives and must still pass both the House and Senate before it could be signed by the President. The legislation comes as Antigua and Barbuda continues discussions with U.S. officials on visa restrictions and other immigration-related matters, and this piece is from the Daily Observer in Antigua. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell. By the gospel only, through faith only, according to the Bible only, in Jesus only. Also, we need to become a republic and get out the British Commonwealth. Now, and the quicker the better, I believe. Now, as we were talking yesterday about the gun issue and the confiscation and that sort of stuff, you know, and not just yesterday, but the thing did that before also, I believe. You know, someone mentioned, we're not caught, but Cartensia had read the comment. It wasn't yesterday. It was not yesterday. But someone Cartensia read a comment that says, I just push when it conservative views, you know. They said it, and obviously it was in a derogatory sense, you know. Well, the gun issue is not just a conservative thing. There were even civil rights leaders and groups who pushed for the Second Amendment and who advocated very strongly for people to be armed, especially black people, to be armed for protection and that sort of stuff. You had black civil rights groups and leaders like the Black Panthers, with Huey Newton and Bobby Steele and others, Malcolm X, the Deacons for Defense and Justice. Any of y'all ever heard about the Deacons for Defense and Justice?
Nope.
That civil rights group? It was a church group. It was a group that had made up of people from local churches in America.
Exactly, in America, not in St. Kitts Nevis.
No, not in St. Kitts Nevis, in America. I'm naming civil rights group because the person said I'd like to push conservative ideas. So I'm showing, we say things when we don't really know history and we don't know better. The Deacons for Defense and Justice was a black civil rights group that made up of local church members, at least mostly local church members, because they understood what the Bible said about defense and using weapons for defense. And even Martin Luther King Jr. at one point after his house was firebombed had weapons in his home and even applied for the license to have a gun, but was denied. Every time he applied, he was denied. And you also had Dr. T.R.M. Howard, a prominent civil rights leader and surgeon in Mississippi. And lastly, I would like to mention the National African American Gun Association, which is a modern thing because it was formed in 2015.
Yeah, but all of those things are in the U.S., and the U.S. provides laws for that. No, we don't have laws for that.
No, I was just replying to a person who wrote a comment which you read.
Greg, that was probably since last week, if I remember correctly.
Conservative ideas. Okay? Which I want to make the point that this is not a conservative thing I push in, because I could name people who were not conservative. That's just the point that I wanted to make on that issue. And also, I would also say that I would put a significant amount of the blame, not all, I would put a significant amount of the blame of the murders that happened in our federation over the many decades on the government.
Why?
And that means all political parties. Why? Because if you restrict me from defending myself against an assaultant or criminal, you who doing the restricting of me have to be also blamed as well. Not just the criminal, but you too, in addition.
How many persons that weren't indifferent has died at the hand of a gun in St. Kitts?
How many people? A good amount. And a good amount
has passed 10, a good amount has passed 20?
Way past 20. One time we had a national record of how much? 30-something?
I don't think you're understanding what I'm asking you. Okay. So how many of those people who didn't engage in illicit acts died from a gun?
How many people who did not engage in illicit acts that died from a gun? I don't know. I don't know the number for that.
Exactly.
I don't know the number for that. But we have had innocent bystanders and people who have died from guns.
So how fast you think that person's reactionary time would have been if they had a gun and they were in a situation to take it out and fire back at the person that was intending to fire not at them but at someone else?
Good question.
Including at them too. We have had people who have killed innocent people intentionally as well. It isn't as much. It isn't that much, but it has happened. As a matter of fact, people have been killed who were supposed to be witnesses.
And that's different. So they wasn't right there and they were shot at. And that's my thing. Imagine all of us in St. Kitts have a gun, right? And something happened. Let's use the ferry terminal where it's normally busy, right?
Just for synopsis, Lord Jesus, don't let nothing happen to our country. And the person come running down, and you think all of us have time to pull the gun? What is our first instinct? Run.
Yeah, but what if you can't run? What if you can't run? You
People gonna get shot. Greg, no.
Could you step back and think about
this gun
view
situation?
About everybody in saying it's having a gun, or in any country, government giving everybody the right?
No, hold on. I didn't say government giving people, because I know when I say we all should have the right. I know some people we go to government giving. Me not believe in no government giving no people a gun, because I'm not a socialist. I believe you should, if you want a gun, you go in your pocket and you buy it.
No gun.
And then what? How are you going to carry it in the government and give you permission to carry it? Because you have to go through the...
No, I do not believe, based upon the teachings of the Bible, I do not believe...
I get that. So you're asking us to be disobedient to the law that guides us in the land. So we are being disobedient not only to the law, but to the Bible as well now, by doing our very own thing, because we're not listening to those that we chose or that God gave the opportunity to run the country for the time being.
No, hold on. Government did not give the Bible did not give any government any permission or authority to run any country. They have a particular job, and it does not include running the country. You are there to administer justice. Okay, that's the God-given duty of government, not to run a country. That's the private sector.
People have rights to carry arms. How many people have gone into churches with those same arms in the country that you like to speak about and killed innocent people? How many people have gone into schools and killed innocent little children that had nothing to do with them, including killing their teachers? The same country that have guns to defend themselves. These people ain't doing them nothing, you know. But they claim they're defending themselves against them by innocently killing them.
Yes, those are the stories. Yes, those are the stories you heard. But you have not heard of the ones where people went in the church, and because others in there had guns, they were able to put down the criminals. You don't hear those ones over the news. You don't hear about people who went in malls and schools.
Greg, and I get all of that, but we have to take a commercial.
Guns, including teachers, and they put them down.
And I get that, but... No, Greg, we have to take a break.
Greg, we have to
take a commercial break, so you can always call back.
Yes. Okay.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
It's here. The all-new Toyota RAV4 has arrived at TDC Automotive with bold styling, advanced technology, and the versatility to match your lifestyle. This is the SUV built for wherever the road takes you. Now available. Get yours today or place your order with our team. Visit us at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Site in St. Kitts or Penny's Industrial Estate in Nevis. TDC Automotive. We're number one for a reason.
Luxury isn't just worn, it's won. Introducing the new Precious Gem Super Ticket from Caribbean Lottery. 4 games in 1 ticket, 62 chances to win, and the chance to multiply your prize up to 20 times. Scratch to reveal diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, with prizes up to $200,000. This isn't just a scratch ticket, it's luxury in every scratch. Grab your Precious Gem Super Ticket today at Caribbean Lottery retailers island-wide. Must be 21 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Be natural you with Fruta. So fresh. The juice with the great flavor. What? Not nice like Fruta. The best juice come from the nature. Where fun and flavor collide. Perfect thing for nice up the vibe. Live Fruta for you, that's my style. With Fruta every sip give a smile.
Live Fruitaful. Look for us on the shelf with our new packaging. Enjoy 100% natural juice flavor. It's so fresh.
Live Fruitaful with Fruta.
And we are back on Island Teach. It's about 21 minutes after the hour of 9. And Greg, no, guns are not for our island. Who have them legally, kudos to them. But I know there are variant tapes that you have to go through to deal with having a gun legally in the Federation. Caller, good morning. You are live on Island T.
Hi, good morning, Hortensia.
Hi, how are
and
you?
Good morning to Joy, if Joy is in the studio as well. I wanted to weigh in, yes, on that gun thing yesterday, on the fine, the cashed fine interception by the police officers on Nevis. And it is fast stretch because a person coming from the international, quote-unquote, first world community, as a Canadian national, retired, I think that individual or individuals, I thought it was individuals. Come on, 15 guns and 1,500 rounds of ammunition. That sounds like an organized group, maybe coming to one individual, but would have been dispersed amongst other retirees on Nevis. That's my first thought of it.
Okay.
But nonetheless, procedures did not follow. And I cannot imagine that the final analysis, because I think the case is ongoing, the inquiry is ongoing, has been conclusive. But I cannot imagine that the final analysis is that those guns going to be turned over to that individual or individuals. Considering our gun laws and the penalties for the possession of a gun and so forth is so stringent. But there is more in the matter than just the pestle, as the old adage goes. Because futuristically speaking, and you know the Destiny project is in the air, maybe the man is clever enough to say, well, why he going to have a market to sell his guns? Once he can get them coming, he will be able to sell to those who coming in and would want a firearm by flouting the law and not following the proper procedure. Because he should have had requisite documentation. And if he did not know, he should have inquired as to how our gun importation law is down here, and going about requesting a firearm, the license, and everything like that. Because I was told, that if I am a gun possession owner, and one day exceed the expiry date when I don't renew that thing,
License.
just like how I am a driver and sometimes an oversight maybe. Man, I'm number 6. Today is the 29th or the 30th day of the month or the 31st day of the month, and it exceeds. And wow, today is the first day of the following month, and I have not gone to renew my license. I will be in trouble.
Because you know we legally have a gun.
Yes, and the expiry date is just like how I pay my insurance. If I know the insurance going to fall on a Saturday or on Sunday, I go the Friday before, to make sure I don't violate the insurance law. And that is the conventional wisdom as to why people feel like petitions and divisions, divisions and petitions are easily walk over people, and we are so docile that they're going to take advantage of us in more than one way. So the law should be dispersed and expensed as in the Wood Boy in Newtown and Irishtown and McKnight and Charlestown and Brown Hill and so forth. The law
Let's see
should
what
be
happens.
dispensed equally.
Yeah.
Because you will set a precedent to all of those potential Destiny people coming in. You want to set a precedent to 10,000 potential Destiny owners who's going to want their own security. It is too confusing. Let the law proceed the way the law ought to proceed. And the excise and customs department, kudos to them. Let the final analysis of that outcome be dispensed to the justice of petitions and divisions, because we, our sons and our daughters, will be faced with the same law, and it comes down hard on us. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Thank you,
caller.
sir.
Thank you for your observation. Biff, go ahead.
This gun thing clear.
Hortensia.
Forgive me, Hortensia. They
always calling me Cleo. Cleo, you hear him?
I mean, I still with our laws are our laws, justifiably so are not. Laws don't necessarily mean that it is right, but it's the law. You have to observe that until it's changed.
Yeah.
And our laws are specific when it comes to guns and ammunition.
You're not supposed to have
and
them.
the penalties have increased over the years because of the number of gun-related activities we've had.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live in Island Tea. Good morning.
Good morning. Peace to you, peace to our nation, and God bless us all. And greetings from Constitution number 7. I'm Lincoln David Pell. My call is to clarify something. Yes, it's a big find and it's alarming, but at least an explanation was given by the different authorities of what happened. Let us leave it take the court, because the police and the customs will do what they do, because the customs have their part to do as well, along with the police. Because first, the custom laws have to be breached, and then they have to find out from the police if they gave certain permission. I think the document and the response from the police will suggest that. However, what I would want us to say though, do not think I do not know what happened, but I do not look at it as just they are imposing and thinking the Nevis, because I know, because I'm a former police officer as well.
Yeah.
And I know there are police officers who forget from St. Nevis, I'm telling you, forget their firearm in their bag that they normally carry and traveling, and when they realize it, some of it happened even on an aircraft. They call the aircraft person, tell them, and they hand it over to them. When they reach to the U.S., he went to the customs and so forth, and they take the necessary stuff, person provide the police identification, and it was taken care of. Whatever documentation have to go to, they have to go to a separate place to do all the documentation. There are other instances of the people from St. Nevis, police officers going on vacation, the bag that they had, rounds end up in the bag, and they didn't know, and they explain, look, I'm a police officer, this is my ID, this is my bag I normally use for work and whatever, and I didn't realize it. And they didn't go through what we might be asking for. Some say it is not just when they come here, but when we go there as well, and a genuine mistake is occurred, then they have to go to the different documentation. So my voice here this morning is just to let us, leave it to the authorities to do their due diligence, because just like how it happened to our persons, and they go there, because we want the same to happen to our person when a genuine mistake has occurred. And it happened already where someone, I can't recall if it was Canada or the US, came here and they forget they had, I think, was a hunting rifle or something, and it was discovered. And they proved the license and they proved it here.
But that's
really
one.
Didn't think.
That's
Something
one weapon.
That's just one. That's just one. This is a couple
that taken and in custody until when they were released. So I'm just saying, let us let the authorities do their work.
But we're not saying anything to the authorities.
Mr. Pell. And you Biff and Cartensia, so we could know exactly sometimes what happened.
Mr. Pell, what somebody retiring and coming to live in St. Kitts and Nevis. What people retiring and coming to live in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether they're military or
former correctional officers,
whatever they are,
etc.
human beings, people. What number of guns do you think is reasonable for them to come to St. Kitts with?
Well, for me, unless they do not have a license, they shouldn't bring anything.
No, okay, no. Let's not talk about license. What number? 1 gun, 2 guns, 3 guns, 15 guns, 20 guns? What number you think is reasonable?
For me, if the authorities say you're not supposed to have any, you're not supposed to have any.
Mr. Pell, you're not answering the question. Mr. Pell, you're not answering the question. What number of weapons do you think is reasonable? Biff leave St. Kitts gone, Canada go live. After 40 years in Canada, Biff decided, well, boy, home is where the heart is. Biff is going to come back home. Now, Biff wants to bring home guns. What number you think is reasonable for Biff to bring? 1 gun, 5 guns, 30 guns? 1 gun. Okay. How much ammunition you think would be reasonable for Biff to bring?
Well, as a with someone who hold on here, with somebody who have experience in these things, sometimes you will say how much you want, and sometimes even if you have one gun, a pistol, they allow you to bring in 2,000 rounds.
Okay, so for one pistol, I'm allowed to bring in 2,000 rounds.
For me, what I'm saying is whatever the authority authorizes.
No, we're not talking about authority. We ain't reached that stage yet. I am ready to pack my trailer, my container. So I want to bring home guns and things. What do you think? You said one gun. How many rounds of ammunition you think is reasonable for me to bring home?
Well, he said 2,000.
Oh, you
so
said
we have
2,000.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
What I'm saying, the authorities allow you to bring that amount as well.
Mr. Pell, we haven't reached authority yet. I am shopping home to put things in my container.
But for what I'm telling you.
Don't you have to list the things that are in your container for the customs and excise department so that when these things get here and they open it, that's the exact thing that they see in there, sir?
No, but what I'm saying, let me finish. What I'm saying, before you bring firearms, you must get permission from St. Nevis for you to bring in your firearms.
You're correct.
So that's what I'm saying.
But you're missing, you're dancing around the question.
It seems as though they didn't have permission. That's why the customs and excise is dealing with it now, and it's not being handled by the law.
The law decided that then they don't see any
wrongdoing, so they leave it to customs and excise to deal with it.
Listen to me again. When I explained it, I said it is not only the amount, as you say, is alarming. I agree with that, and that's what I'm trying to explain. Yes, the amount is alarming, but leave the authorities to do their thing, because I'm saying police officers would have leave St. Nevis, and I even say it on the plane, forget they have a firearm. And when they realize they voluntarily notify, hey, this is it.
Now we understand all of that, you know, Pell.
Documentation.
We understand that.
Hold on, because this is important. Hold on, Biff. Just let me explain. There's another situation where an officer leaving St. Kitts, they search the bag and they found rounds in his bag. He had to explain, hey, this is my item, a police officer, I normally use this bag. And therefore, that's what happened. And they went to do whatever documentation.
We understand all of that, Pell.
It's an alarming, and it shouldn't happen.
Nothing wrong with that, Pell. Nothing wrong with that. In my example, I go on shopping where we have to get my gun and my ammunition.
Yeah, we
of
know
course,
people make mistakes.
I now have to find out, well, maybe before I went shopping, I needed to find out, okay, what processes I need to go through to bring in these
Morning,
guns.
guys.
Good morning, Cleo. How are you?
Nobody, but what I'm saying,
I'm good, but Mr.
Pell, could you
Pell
please
is
hold a
making me
second?
angry
Hold a
right
second,
now.
please, Pell. Go ahead, Cleo.
Yeah, Mr. Pell is making me angry. Because, I mean, how he come up with this scenario of police forget, sometimes police could forget they got a gun. How in God will you forget to put 15 gun in a container? How you forget that? That was not no mistake. That was not an oversight. And sometimes Mr. Pell make me wonder about him, because he made me feel like if he gets in power, they're going to compromise with a lot of stuff. Sometimes he need to stop the radio. Because he made me, honestly, the hand up hand man. Sometimes you really have to wonder with some of the things what he just said. So wishy-washy. The wrong is wrong. If there's a lot, you have to declare your gun them, declare them. He didn't make a mistake. It was not an oversight of putting 15 gun in a container and 15,000 rounds of ammunition. That was not an oversight.
No, Biff.
Yes, sir.
Biff, what I'm saying, I might sound strange. I'm saying what happened. So all I'm saying to us, I accept what my good friend is saying, but what I'm saying to us, these things happen not just for they coming here, but it doesn't matter what we say. The law is, the officers have to carry out the investigation. It is wrong, and that's why I'm saying the amount of things that come in, it is wrong. But what I'm trying to explain to everyone, before someone even, that is why I'm trying to let you know, they guys are wrong, because even before anybody come to this country with any firearm, they must get permission from the commissioner of police, the government.
You weren't saying that before, Mr. Pell. That's why I asked you.
Exactly. And the whole thing about the Cardensia, we know they did not get permission, and then they break the law, and then the law did not even give them a slap on the wrist. The law let them get away with breaking it.
Supporting it, they don't see any malintention. What it was,
I don't see anything wrong with it. Oops, it was an oops.
What the document is saying, I'm basing my speech based on evidence and what is written. The document is saying the matter is still under investigation and the persons, whatever they do with them. Because at the same time, something was discovered. And it doesn't matter what this is, the law and the policy must be followed. It is alarming for such a thing, and I myself have a concern with it. But I'm just trying to let us hold on a bit and let us understand. Let the officers do their work. Because at the end of it, let me give you an example, right? I into different things. I applied for a rubber gun, right? I applied for a rubber gun. Let me explain something. I applied for a rubber gun to come into this country for training. It has no moving parts and whatever. But the law is, any replica of any firearm coming in must get permission. And when it reached customs, they held it. And then I had to write a letter to the commissioner of police to let them know what I'm using it for. So you might say, but it's a plastic gun, it's a toy gun. But what I'm just explaining to all of us, the law is clear. Even though it's a toy gun, it was a replica of a gun. And therefore, I had to
But Mr. Pell, the point is, they broke the law, and you said let the law handle it. The authority find a weapon, and after their examination, as they say, they find that this person has no criminal intent. So literally what they're saying, okay, we're going to give this man his 15 guns and go along your merry way, sir.
They didn't say that because he doesn't have a license for guns here. And
but they're going to fix that. They're going to fix that. They're going to get his license.
Exactly.
No, let me finish before we go, and don't let us seem as if we argue. Just let me finish. Because I want all of us to understand. The customs laws were breached. So maybe the police may not see anything because they didn't give them, but custom laws were breached. And the document is clear what it says. Customs have to seize those weapons. Give them back to it. Because I could bring in any weapon and do not get permission and have them. So let us get that straight. So the custom laws was breached as well. It's not just the laws that pertain to the police, but the custom laws were breached. And the custom going to deal with their side of things. And the police. Yeah. So my friend, I agree, I might sound strange or whatever, but sometimes the truth and the correctness of things, because person that a customer familiar with it, but no, that sounds ridiculous. But it is what the law is. And I just want to bring that to us to understand, is that these things, they have to carry the investigation, and I hope for our sake that the officers, because even in the police report, they say, they will come back. They will come up because the investigation have to carry out. So let us let them carry out the work. And that's what I'm saying is that just let them carry out the stuff. Yes.
Mr. Pell, how did the authorities?
Why 15 firearms?
Mr. Pell?
I do not even know the types.
Mr. Pell?
Yes, ma'am.
How did the authorities come to the conclusion that there was no malintent?
There are two authorities. There's the custom authorities and there's the police authorities. So
yeah, but without a thorough, so was there a thorough investigation?
When by that again?
Was there a thorough investigation for them to come to that conclusion that there was no malintent?
I wouldn't know because I'm not a part of the police force. All I'm just setting out. And that is
the fact that they hide the gun in the container without declaring it, that's criminal intent. You're criminal because you deceive the public. You lie. You try to.
And an attempt to deceive the customs and police.
Yeah, because you didn't put it on the document you were supposed to send ahead.
The customs.
Yep.
Good point.
What I would like to say before my time is up is that the best persons to have come here is maybe for the police and the custom to come and explain something better, because yes, I might sound strange, but I'm just wanting to, hey, just let us calm down a bit. And sometimes to bring something to justify it sounds strange, it sounds odd, but you know what? That's what the law is. Because there are many laws in our books. We might say it sounds strange, but when you check the law is that what it is until it's changed. Even with our Constitution. But that doesn't sound right. But until the Constitution is amended or changed, that's what it is.
It is what it
even
is.
Even sometimes in our Bible itself, even with our Bible, certain things sound strange. But that's what it is. So I'm just saying, let us calm down. And that is why
Mr. Pell,
to show you. Yes, ma'am. That's why I brought examples.
Mr. Pell, today we're going to disagree greatly. Not today.
Mr. Pell, thing is calm down, and he sweep under the rug like everything else. That's what our people in authority do us all the time. Calm down. We have it in. We're gonna investigate it and sweep it under the rug and it died.
Yeah.
9 days.
For me, what I will say to you is to call an authority from from the police department and customs to maybe explain it better to you. There might be more.
We'll do that.
To come and explain it than me. But all I was just bringing certain things for us to see, well, hey, it is wrong for these persons to bring these things here, but for whatever it is, they said that let them come and explain to us.
Okay, Mr. Pell, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pell.
For us to realize that our people as well would have made, not that amount of weapons, but you know what? They were given fair and just due process. And that is what I wanted to bring over. So let us let the officers come. So I would ask you.
Okay,
we're gonna try.
We're gonna work at it. We're gonna do our best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you all, and God bless the constitution as usual. But that's it. God bless all.
Mr. Pell,
Thank
the
you.
only person that's going to vote for Mr. Pell is Greg. And Mr. Pell could get me.
Clear, you love that. You love that, Clear.
No.
My husband here just dying laughing. God tells you, listening to Mr. Pell is a handle and some wishy-washy. Listen, yo. Listen. Look me. And as for Greg, right? Greg saying government should not be in charge of giving license for guns. So can you imagine if anybody just like this person who just come in with those guns, they just decide I'm gonna bring in a whole pan to the gun and open up a gun shop.
Exactly.
While with the pulse of how people is so wishy-washy and so touchy, so easily touched today. Can you, as you get angry, you're ready to fight, you're ready to stab up. Can you imagine if you give them gun?
Yeah.
People so easily touched today.
So much venom and hatred in the heart, Cleo.
Exactly.
If you watch me in a manner I don't like, you dissing me.
Yeah.
And once you dissing me,
action.
But babe, that's some of that very same stuff been happening here in America. You watch somebody too hard, or you even accidentally step on their shoes. They shoot you.
Yes.
So can you imagine a small country like ours?
Everybody having a
and
gun.
You know how thinking people like to jam again, put a ban in the street and you jam and you match the shoes. They just come and shoot you. Have a good day, guys. I'll continue listening. Mr. Pell, stop the radio. You handling Tom.
Okay. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
It's here. The all-new Toyota RAV4 has arrived at TDC Automotive with bold styling, advanced technology, and the versatility to match your lifestyle. This is the SUV built for wherever the road takes you. Now available. Get yours today or place your order with our team. Visit us at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Site in St. Kitts or Penny's Industrial Estate in Nevis. TDC Automotive. We're number one for a reason.
On Friday, July 24th at 8 p.m., the NEDAX Cultural Complex comes alive for the National Bank Miss Culture Swimwear and Mystical Contest, who will capture the coveted titles. Come on out and support your favorite contestants and participants as they battle for the crowns. Our heritage, proud and and true. It's Culturama 52.
And we're back on Island Tea, just about 46 minutes after the hour of 9. Well, 47 now. And listen, we have some comments here. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm sorry, man, but Mr. Pell, I'm sorry to say this, man, but you're just having a bad morning, man. It's all right. It's okay. We are all human beings. You're having a bad morning. That's all. It's quite fine, man, but I'm not going to side with you with the amount of excuses you're trying to come up with this morning with that guns and the ammunitions. Man, we're so naive and docile, babe. Man, let me ask Pell, does he got all the ammunition at his house?
Now, how many guns he got? A lot legally.
Yeah, I mean, yes, this is what I'm saying. I mean, man, the place is dysfunctional, man. St. Nevis is a dysfunctional society. The judicial system is corrupted, as well as the political arena. The deputy and the AG, they are not doing their jobs. Man, you go down to Rams and pick up a can of sardine and put it in your pocket and get caught. You're going to get charged. The law is there, and there's a custom breach, and it seems like it's a breach of the law. How could we allow this? Because he's of a different persuasion. I mean, man, do I forget to walk outside with my clothes on? This stuff is unbelievable, man.
If you walk outside with your clothes not on, we're gonna think your mind not working this morning.
Sure. I'm mental.
Yep.
You see the thing about it, man, these guys are testing our system. And the point that I'm gonna make is that of the customs breach.
Burl, there's a next call on the line. You can hold on, let's engage that one, please.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Good morning, Potencia. Good morning, Brother Biff. And to all of you.
Morning. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm humble and peaceful. First of all, I'm not a lawyer, but I use common sense, and I know when a law is broken. From the beginning, for those guns to enter into the Federation or anywhere, that was a premeditated act. Knowing that it's a premeditated act, and the rules and regulation in terms of importation, there should have been a list of particles shipping to anywhere. If those was not declared on the manifesto, it is no doubt some kind of contraband or smuggling. And if they were ignored or failed to inspect by custom authorities, ignorance is no excuse to the law. Those are weapons. What would they use? If a man have excess marijuana, they're going to deem it that he's going to be selling. If a man bring in 10 guns, more even to be less, they were to be distributed. No one man can sling 15 guns upon them. What are they going to do? Serious business. Unless they are going to arm against some militant that is a threat to them. So I do not buy that. Ignorance is no excuse to the law. The person who packed those things and decided to ship them to St. Kitts and Nevis, they knew what they were doing. And by all means, it is a premeditated act. They know what they were doing.
Correct.
I will leave it there. I'm open for critique. And I eat and I live from criticism.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
In
you.
advance.
Thank you
Go
very
ahead,
much,
Burl.
Mr. Welcome.
Okay, so now the fact of the matter is, right, we are talking about this Destiny Project. And one of the points that came out with that Destiny Project, as the information is leaking out, is Destiny wants to have their items bonded. Man, we know what that means. That means they're going to bring in any and everything over there on that south side of Nevis, and they won't be checked. And an example that the Prime Minister got to be looking at. Man, the Prime Minister himself, bro, supposed to come out and say something against this, because this is his job. This is portfolio we're looking at right in our faces. National security. And if the Prime Minister don't address this, that means he is not doing his job. And this is what we got to pay attention to. And Biff, if you go back to the round table last week, he spoke about those breaches. But he's concerned about
remember, he's Minister of National Security.
And then now we have an example, an incident that happened right after that round table or whatever. And you can tell me he's not going to address it? Man, the people in them should be really upset about this stuff, man. There's persons sitting in Sinkers and Nevis because they're getting them palms greased, and they know the ramifications of Destiny, and they know the ramifications of these breaches, and they're not saying anything.
But, Burl, in the defense of the government, right? The government hire people, which is the police force. So unless the police force isn't doing what it should be doing, that's where now our Prime Minister, being the Minister of Security, can clamp down. But it's not on him. Remember, the investigation has to be done, and then we can come to a conclusion. But if the police weren't investigating or weren't doing what they were supposed to do, then the Prime Minister has to look at who he has protecting our country. But he doesn't have a direct.
That's one of my things, right? A lot of people in St. Nevis, man, the PSs who are running these departments, they don't want to do their work either. They want to just collect the checks.
So we gone from the PM to the PS.
Like those teachers who don't care if your children learn in school. That's what
because there is a chain of command. Yeah, there is a chain of command.
Yeah, but
I get it.
But I'm going to tell you this. Though, because of the fact that Destiny is such a hot item right now, and we have an incident in relation to that custom breach, I will say, yes, let the investigation happen, right? But when this investigation completes, the Prime Minister should be addressing it still, no matter what, because he is the boss, and he got to make sure the portfolio, what he has, is he's doing his job according to the portfolio he got. I'm not going to exempt him from this. He's supposed to get involved with this. And lastly, you already read that statement yesterday, and I wish and hope that you could read it again. Who didn't hear it yesterday, we'll hear it right now, because they're already exempting the whole situation.
Okay, Burl, we have to wrap up. We have a next caller waiting online, and I also have some comments I need to get to.
One second. According to the statement you made yesterday, they're already pre-exempting what the conclusion is. And I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
thanks a lot, Thank you. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Yes, it's me again. No, I'm going
Okay, Greg, you have to be very short, okay? I need to read some comments that I have here. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes, I'm going to answer a question you asked. Criminologists like Gary Click, John Lott Jr., and so on, they have wrote of different studies concerning the gun issue. And to answer one of your questions, they have, especially John Lott, have shown that studies have shown that, that people with guns, criminals and so on with guns, who pulls up on people, different types of people, if, victims who have guns on them, fear best in those situations over against people who didn't have any guns or who had a weapon other than a gun. Okay?
Okay, great.
People with guns feared best and people who pulled up with them with guns.
Okay. All right.
They were in the best position to defend themselves.
Okay,
Thank
Greg.
you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So as we get to the comments, I see here somebody said, "Good morning to you all. Greg, the Bible is against killing." Someone else said, "Nah, he crazy. They must have everything listed on the manifest." And I think this was when Mr. Pell was speaking. And then someone else said, "This man is presenting himself for elevation to a minister. He's more than likely will be the Minister of National Security in a PAM administration." Somebody says, "Sir Pell, or whatever your name is, you sound crazy. One individual wants 15 guns? Question mark." I have to read this one, Biff. And someone says, "And two amateur journalists cannot get a straight answer from him." Listen. Thank you, person. Noted. And then the person said, "Mr. Pell is a former officer." Caller, go ahead. And
very brief, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Don't you think now that gentleman or person, let me say person, who brought these guns into the country, don't you think now that he himself now is at the risk of his guns then being stolen from him?
Boy.
Okay.
Because people don't know. He have too much.
I was out there. If I am out there looking to get an illegal gun, and I hear boy a man got 15 and all his ammunition.
But then we
right?
still, yeah, that could be the case. But then we can't make us look too bad because you just say you're looking to get them thief from them. People gonna think we thief out here. We them kind of people.
But that's the reality, cartels.
But if you're trying to get something illegal, not thief, you're thief.
Okay, caller, you're correct. I was just trying to make us look pretty.
And the next thing, right? And the next something quick. I don't think this person is a part of the Destiny program, right? Project, right?
Okay.
If that person now, if we are hearing that somebody who is not a part of the Destiny program get in these amount of stuff, who customs checking what we put us to think by what these people who and in the Destiny program project, what they're gonna be bringing in that won't be checked.
Good point.
These are things that a question that we can ask ourselves and maybe ask them out loud so people could hear. Thank you.
All right, thank you, caller.
Well, Jimmy Cliff has a song, had it. Yeah, he's passed. There are more questions than answers. And 15 guns and any time of the week, that's a no-no. For one man, even if he declared them, even if he had declared them, in my humble view, why are you bringing 15 weapons into the Federation? To sell, it can't be for your protection, unless you're going to put one in every house, every room in the house and two on the landing. And I don't know, but that caller made a good point, exposing himself to persons looking to get illegal firearm. So that's another issue that we perhaps wasn't being thought about.
So I'll read the article again, and it says, on July 9, 2026, before we close up, local authorities seized 15 firearms and 1,500 plus rounds. Now it has a plus. 1,500 rounds plus of ammunition from a shipping container in Nevis. Following a joint investigation by the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force and Customs, it was determined that the guns belonged to retired Canadian correctional officers relocating to the island, and the shipment lacked proper statutory approval. This is from the nevispages.com, okay? It says the incident specifies date of discovery, July 9, 2026, location, Caliquans Estate, Nevis, inside a 40-foot shipping container. Origin of shipments, Canada. Seizure details, 15 firearms, rifles, pistols, revolvers, and more than 1,500 assorted rounds of ammunition. And this part comes from police.kn. Legal resolution. Criminal status. Police determined there was no criminal intent and the owners were not charged criminally. Administrative action. Because the firearms were imported without required permits, the Customs and Excise Department handled the situation administratively under the Customs Act, which included the imposition of standard penalties. And this seems to be the most updated one, as it reads different from the one we had yesterday. Yeah. And it says the discovery was one of the largest single seizures of firearm in the Federation history. You can track further updates through the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force press release. And this part that I just read came from vonradio.com.
I still can't get over the part about didn't have any malintent or whatever. How the part go again?
Police determined there was no criminal intent and the owners were not criminally charged.
Oh, so they look at the guy and say, "Oh no, man, you don't look like a man who have criminal intent. So you don't have any criminal intent."
I don't know, so I want to.
After I didn't declare them cartels here.
Well, I can't assume.
Biff, Biff is all right, man. Biff, you didn't declare 15 guns and that, and it doesn't look like you have any criminal intent.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are better said. Shut up your mouth and don't say nothing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's best to just keep your mouth shut and not say anything. And perhaps the police would have been better if they had not said this part about criminal intent.
But how it would have not said, I would prefer for it to be said than for us to assume. Because when we assume, we could assume all kind of things. So at least we know where their mind is. So I would prefer for them to tell me, yeah, this
Fact.
is how I'm thinking.
Fact. They found 15 guns. Fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Fact. They found 1,500 rounds of ammunition.
But
what fact it is that
they can be
he
looking
has
at
no
the
criminal
people's
event?
background, that they were correctional officers. Maybe they had to send out
then.
all their list of...
Based on
Just
that,
like how we have to get police record and stuff when we're going to get a green card or whatever. Maybe they got all their records too. So
based on that, but they said, based on the records, they have not had a past of criminal intent.
And maybe they packed the
and
box
a
early,
he get catch,
and they put the box in the back, and when they were listing the items, something was on the boxes, so they didn't remember.
Candies. Diapers, I don't know.
Sarcasm. Yeah.
A thief ain't a thief until he get catch, eh? And even when he get catch, it was me.
It wasn't him.
So, Hortensia, this is a messy situation. I don't believe it's going to go away just now. And I don't believe...
After 9 days, we're going to stop talking.
No,
just
man,
like how I was saying this morning.
second.
We don't hear anything about Mr. and Mrs. Maduro anymore. It was a big topic for 9 days, and then we don't hear anything about it. Most of our topics last 9 days.
It will be revived. It will be revived.
Let's see, the only
like
topic I see... Exactly, I was just going to say, that's the only topic that's being regurgitated, reiterated, reintroduced. It's not
ferment and it come forward again.
Exactly, this drink just bubbling over
And
now.
somebody somewhere said they had nothing to do with the SS's own, correct?
What? Yeah, that's what somebody said. They assume. I don't know.
They assume.
They assume. Yeah, so I don't know. I
Assumption
can't say.
is the lowest point of information.
Well, all of those things there.
We're gonna be hearing about this for a long time, and everybody is watching because I don't want to use the word setting a precedent, because if that happened there and you get away, somebody is going to say, okay, I believe I could get away through. Not only here in St. Kitts, maybe in other countries. But sometimes these things happen, the good in all of it, it shows our kinks and our weaknesses in our systems. And they tell us what we have to do to fix things.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there might be some good coming out of all of this cartels here.
Well, we're yet to wait and see. So we're going to wait and see what happens. But for now, this is where we have to close it off today.
I like the part about two amateur journalists can't get that.
Thank you. Thank you, whomever you are. Thank you. So we got to work on becoming professional ones.
Yes, we have to upgrade our status.
Have a good day. Thank you for your observations. We appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you. I'm going to see you on Friday because I won't be here tomorrow and Thursday. So have a great 2 days and enjoy the rest of today.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Tire treads gone? Going bald? Don't let this be you. It's time for new tires from TDC Automotive. As the month rolls along, buy 2 or more tires and get 20% off your purchase. Get more savings and safer driving for the roads ahead. Visit TDC Automotive today at Southwell Industrial Estate in St. Kitts or Penny's Industrial Estate, Nevis. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid while stocks last.